Ray here. Sorry about my musical outburst in the beginning. I love the musical Wicked. It's actually what got me started in loving musicals, really. But if you haven't guessed by now, today in our first book review, I will be reviewing Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West by Gregory Maguire. First of all, I want to say that when I first saw this book, I loved the cover because you see right here that it's the Wicked Witch of the West as she's normally or popularly portrayed in mainstream society. But then you open the cover and you see, in essence, the true story of who she really is. And I've noticed, researching Gregory Maguire, that is a very popular theme he has. If you don't know him, should check out his other books like Mirror, Mirror, which is his version of Snow White, or The Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, which is a Cinderella story, if you haven't guessed. But it's from, they say, obviously the stepsister's point of view. Got my book again. I have to write down everything or I'm going to forget. I wrote down instructions for me to do. I'm that much of a nerd. But, yeah, overall, this book, it is a page turner, absolutely. But, I really loved this book. And a little personal history, this is actually something that I read a long time ago, my sophomore year of high school. And that's when I was just starting to get into reading series again, because I used to love to read as a little kid. I learned before I even got into school, but then, growing up, you didn't have much time. I didn't have much time to read and things like that, and I got back into reading junior high with a book called The Life of Simon Gray or something. I'll look it up again and maybe I'll do a review about it in the future. But that got me started on reading again, but then it was kind of slow, and then this book is actually got me really, really into it. So overall, I love this book. It's something that I've never really come across in stories before. This was a first for me. It was very thought out, and there are real life consequences and real life challenges in this. It's not just, it's fairy tale. This is the most real fictional story I have read so far. Even with John Green. I love his books. I have a collection. But in those terms, yes, they're real and there's real life consequences. Fault in Our Stars is very real. But when it comes to a fictional world, a world that everyone knows and has a very, everyone pretty much has the same perspective on this world and who these people are. And this just turned it upside down, and I loved that concept. And I often try to find books like that. It's just generally altogether a really good story. I don't want to get into too much details right now, but obviously it's from the perspective of the Wicked Witch of the West, or in here she's known as Alphaba. And it starts even before her lifetime. It starts with her parents and how she came to be, and it just kind of follows her life by then. As if anyone has seen the musical, she was born completely different, and even her, well, I don't know, I'm not going to get into that because that's specifics, generally specifics, yeah. But she's been different from day one, and instead of hiding from it, or that to our real world now, considering since this book was made in 1995 and stuff like that is still true today. But I noticed that the musical touched it. It was kind of like buddies with it, but it didn't get too hardcore into it. And I understand because it's a musical and it's like comedy, romantic, musical type stuff, and it doesn't want to get heavy into that. But there have been dark musicals before, and yes, the musical got dark, but kind of like turn off the lights dark, not really dark as in the book got trapped in an alley in New York and Spider-Man's not going to come and save you kind of dark. And that really surprised me, and normally I try to stay away from books that have like heavy political or religious standpoints in it. But this, like I said, it got me turning page by page, because it's not like the book was saying that, oh, this is the one good one and this is the one bad and these are all the other bad ones. It basically gave you an overall of each religion that was mentioned in here, or any political side, and the politics and religion mixing, and the mess of it all, pretty much. Another thing, I mean, it's obvious when I'm comparing and contrasting these, but like I said, the book gets real in depth, and it's like the most real fictional world I have yet to read. It's in its own world. There's real life consequences to every single action you do. It's not the butterfly effect, it's real life. but she can choose. This isn't a scene in the book or anything, but Elphaba could choose to go to the beach, and that would drastically affect the story. Or she could choose to, go to the beach, but not really participate with her friends in there, and that would just completely go in a different way. Or she could just choose to stay home and drink tea and read books, and that would just flip the world upside down, because every single action that any of these characters have in this book basically determines the fate of us. And you can't help but just be in awe on how it all unfolds, and tries to refold and crumples itself up into a little ball and throws itself into the trash and misses, and then you have to go pick it up and just smash it into the trash can because you got frustrated. But where was I going with this? Oh, book. That was with the book. And then with the musical, okay. Again, I have to say, I love the musical. It's just wonderful, and it makes me laugh, and it makes me cry, and everything. And it sounds like I'm bashing it because it's not as good as the book, but nothing's going to be as good as the book. And, well, I don't know. Maybe in this one aspect the musical was better in the book, just for, personally for me, because consequences there still happened, and it was still because, they chose this one certain path and everything. But I felt it was a little lighter, like I said, is because they didn't want it to be as dark as the books. And I just, personally for me, I don't feel like the characters should have been tormented. That's because I loved them so much, but I didn't want them to be tormented as much in the book. Kind of like they had I didn't want them to be tormented as much as they were in the book. So that's kind of what made me feel better about the musical, because everyone lives, Rose. Everyone lives. Just this once. And if you decide to read this book, you're probably going to cry at the end like I was. I was a sobbing mess, and that doesn't happen to me a lot. And overall, in the end of it, both the book and the musical pretty much have the same message, and I feel that is just wonderful. And it is basically, if you're in the shoes of Elphaba, it's don't be afraid of who you are, and just be yourself, and because you are awesome. And don't let anyone tell you what to do just because they have this perspective of you. And don't conform, or, the opposite of conform, for people because they see you this way. Don't try to accommodate them. Don't try to push them down and say, hey, this is me, get over it. But, try to live your life for you and what you believe. And if people don't like that, then they don't deserve to be in your life. Anyway, besides the you do you message that it has, simplifying it, is the fact that in the book, because of these terrible things that are happening to her and everyone's blaming her, she's starting to, no, that's getting too specific. But because of everything, by the end of it, she is pretty much just, no. By the end of the book, she's almost floored with Dorothy, because that's how the book ends, is around the movie is, okay, I'll this one little spoiler. Lord, that's the one. I'm not getting too emotional right now, but yeah, it's forgiveness and in the end, overall in the end, with every character, not just Alphaba's perspective, it's, you know, stand by your morals. Like I said, you be you, girl, or boy, human, however you identify. And, you know, just because people disagree with you and they think you should conform to them, that doesn't mean they're right, but it doesn't mean you're right either, but that doesn't mean you're wrong either, if you understood that at all. And it's just it's a really good book, okay? Stop having me talk about it and go read it. It's on sale everywhere. Like, you can get it digital, you can get it at Barnes & Nobles, you can get it Amazon. Go get the book and quit having me babble and, you know, mumble, because I'm pretty sure I've been mumbling every once in a while. This is a series. It's the series is called The Wicked Years. It is a saga because more than 3 is a saga. But there's only 4 books. There is the original Wicked, there is Son of a Witch, A Lion Among Men, and then I just realized that the 4th and last book is out. Okay, so, and the last book from the saga, or in the saga, is called Out of Oz, and I have not read that book yet because I heard about it years ago and I was excited for it, but then I kind of, you know, real life entered, and that's always stupid, but never go there. But I just realized it is out and public, so I will be getting that super soon. But I do recommend reading the 2nd and 3rd one and 4th one, even though I haven't read that one yet, as well as the 1st one. You should always get the books all in a series and just go through the story. Well, don't just go through it. I mean, you know, have the adventure with them. And it's always so much fun. You get to see their world, you get to escape yours for a while. It's a nice little mind vacation. And that's the end of my list. Okay. Yay! Lists make everything easier. So, there's my review. It's been 30 minutes and it's very long-winded, and I'm definitely gonna edit this out so much. So much. Okay, guys. There's my first book review. If you guys liked it or didn't like it, tell me in the comments what I did wrong or what I'm doing right. You know, I'd love feedback. If you liked this video, then like it. If you didn't, then why are you still watching? Since I haven't really gotten a lot of feedback from you from my first video, because it's only been 2 days and I'm a nobody. So what I'll be doing next is doing Son of a Witch, the sequel, because like I said, it's always good to finish a series. Okay, you guys, that was my first I already did the stuff like that. Why are ending so hard? I mean, if you guys still want to join me on my journey, if you haven't seen the first video from watching this one, or vice versa, or whatever, then join me if you want to. I'm not going to force you into anything. I'm not a slave driver. I'm, you know, just a girl in her room talking to a camera, trying to be as social as possible without being social. Anyway, guys, this has been really fun. I've never been this excited talking to myself before. Thank you for not thinking I'm crazy, or maybe I want you to think I'm crazy. You don't know. But, okay guys, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful life.
I'll just wait here